I'm about to piss some people off, and I don't care because men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie, my friend. Let's go. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. This is gonna be a good one. Just did the video this week talking about SGC, how they've been killing it, how I'm slightly concerned a little bit. If you haven't watched that video, check it out. I'll link it up top. But one of the things that I've been wanting to get into here recently, I feel like over the last 2 or 3 months, SGC has really cranked it up in terms of everything, in terms of their delivery times, in terms of their just awareness in the hobby, leading up to the national. A lot of buzz about SGC kind of being the new number 2 for a lot of people. Number 1, in my opinion. I've talked about that before. I was talking about that a year and a half ago. But anyway. Seems like the hobby's just now catching up, which is great. But again, this little nagging thing about resale value, and it's a viable, it's a legitimate thing to say when the conversation about who's number 1 comes up. So I wanted to do a little bit of digging. As I've done before on this channel, I think I've done this video maybe 2 or 3 times before. And so it's a good topic of conversation. It's a good thing to talk about. However, I think, some PSA folks might not like the data that we're going to show them today. So let's jump right into it. And hold on a sec. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So if you guys want to be able to use the tools that I'm using today, obviously you guys know Card Hedge. The link is in the description below. If you follow that link, you can go to their website. You could check comps for free. There's no obligation to check current comps. If you want to see historic data, you got to sign up for the tool. I think there's a 7-day trial or a 1-month trial or something like that. I'll have to double check on that, but you can sign up for a free trial, and then if you like it, keep using the tool and all that stuff. You can sign up to use it going forward. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do on here, but my favorite thing that they offer on this tool is the compare tool, which is what we're going to use today. And as you can see, we're comparing PSA 10s to SGC 10 sale prices over the last year, and it's pretty interesting, the set of information that we're going to look at. So here is where I'm going to look at a handful of cards that I am looking at, right? Things that are kind of grail type cards that are kind of reflectant of, like what a typical collector would have. I'm not talking about, the big millionaire guys that are trading in the $1 million cards and the $100,000 cards, hell, even $1,000 cards. You guys know my motto when it comes to how much I'm going to spend on a particular card, so on and so forth. So we're going to look at relatively low-priced cards that your average collector would like to have in his or her collection. So this is what we're going to look at. So the first one we're looking at is the 1996 Kobe Bryant Topps paper base rookie card. So this is like his base rookie card. And this is the sales of PSA in purple versus SGC in the pink. And about a year ago, there's a pretty big price difference. PSA 10s were selling for about $2,700. SGC 10s were selling for about $1,400. So a pretty good price difference there. But as you can see in the chart, that chart's really starting to come in and really starting to converge to where it's about $1,000 for an SGC for a PSA 10 and $600 for an SGC 10. Still a pretty good price difference between the two. So it's about a 40% difference. But again, it's nothing like what it was, almost triple the price back here, almost double the price. So, that gap is closing up as more and more SGC 10s start getting graded and get out into the market, as SGC continues to, get themselves out in the market as a viable grading company. I feel like this gap is going to continue to close. People are going to start seeing value in SGC 10s. And if not, then hell, I get to pick up a Kobe Bryant rookie card in a gem mint condition for $600. And you guys can go spend $1,000, $1,200 if you want to. It's not that really that big of a deal for me. So we'll move on to one of the cards that I recently picked up, which I'm very excited about, because I'm going to do a little bit of a thing on that one. It's right here. I think in the previous video I mentioned that it was a 9.5. It's not. It's a PSA 9. But it is gorgeous. Anyway, we'll talk about that another day. So this is base 2018 Panini Prism Luka Doncic rookie card. I'm telling you, on the offseason, Dallas did some stuff, and I think they're going to be a very interesting contender this year. And I think Luka's starting to get a little bit of help, and things might get interesting. Anyway, this time last year, a PSA 10, which is in the pink, and an SGC 10, which is in the purple. The PSA was selling for about $830. SGC was selling for about $560. So a pretty good price difference there. Now, not so much. PSA 10 is selling for about $300, and SGC 10 is selling for about $280. So there's a $20 difference, 10% difference. That gap is closing quickly. Okay, it's all but closed. They're selling for the same amount of money. So if you have a raw Luka Doncic 2018 Luka Doncic in your collection, right now, if you want to send that off to PSA to get graded, I believe it's going to cost you $100 because it's over the 199 PSAcard.com. I think it's going to be $100. Sorry, $50. $50, and you're going to look at a 90-day turnaround. Good luck with that. And it's essentially going to sell for the same price as if you get a PSA 10, it's going to sell for the same price as an SGC 10, but you're going to wait like 4 months to get your card back. So good luck with that. Whereas if you send it to SGC, you get it back in like 15 calendar days, door to door. And you can turn around and flip your money if you're a flipper, or if you're a collector, get to keep it in your collection and have a great card that's worth just as much as a PSA 10. This gap is closed. It's closed. An SGC 10 is the same resale price as a PSA 10. What are we doing here? Moving on. 2020 LaMelo Base Prism rookie card, SGC 10 versus a PSA 10. Once again, this time last year, big price disparity. There's a little bit of a hiccup here. I don't know who paid $721 for an SGC 10. That's got to be some kind of blip in the market. But look at how this gap is continuing to close. Now we're looking at $180 for an SGC for a PSA 10, $75 for an SGC 10. I wonder what the pop is on that. I bet you there's a big disparity on the pop. But you're looking at maybe, what is it, $100 difference? So about double. Man, you're going to pay double the price for a PSA 10 when you can have the exact same card and a better looking slab for less money, for about half the price. So not much of a gap close here, but however, closing the gap, it was it was almost triple the price. Look at this right here. You're talking about $900 versus, it was triple the price, and now it's about half. So closing the gap on that one. I wanted to do kind of a big card. This is a big card. Steph Curry, 2009 Topps base rookie. PSA 10 in the purple, SGC 10 in the pink. Again, big. Now there's only been 2 sales so far, it looks like, of a SGC 10 in the Curry. I can't imagine there's too much out there in terms of the pop count. But a lot of movement on the PSA, only 2 on the SGC. But the PSA 10 is about $9,500 is the last sale, $8,000. So on average, looks like about $9,000, $8,500, and an SGC 10 is $5,600. So somebody went from paying $4,500 to $5,500. Not much movement on that one. I gotta imagine there isn't too many SGC 10 Curry tops out there. Let's see. I'm gonna screw this up, but oh well. Click on that and see what's what. The pop on a PSA 10 is $366. The pop on an SGC 10 is $12. So yeah, not very many of them out there to begin with. I'd be curious to see what the SGC 10 versus SGC 9 versus the PSA 9 are looking like. 2009 Curry tops. If we look at a PSA 9 versus an SGC 9. SGC 9. I wonder what that looks like. That's going to be interesting. Once again, one of the things I love about this tool, right? You get to look and see what it's going to look like. Okay, see? The 9s tell a different story. 2300s this time last year for a PSA 9. SGC 9 was 1800. Now we're talking about 1800 versus $1,000. So again, not very many of them selling from an SGC standpoint, because I don't think there's too many of them out there. But again, you're looking at about 50% difference versus, yeah, about half. So, but man, there was a time where they were selling for about the same, 2,200, 2,100. So this one's a PSA 9 versus the SGC 9 closed gap a little bit more. Taking a look at the LeBron James. I'm not a big fan of LeBron, but his cards are considered to be one of the biggest. 1900 versus 74, now virtually the same price. They're selling for the same price. So once again, this is a $1,900, $2,000 card. So it does not qualify for this here. Doesn't qualify for this here. You're going to spend $150 to get this card graded. Go SGC. SGC. There we go. Go SGC. You're going to spend $85 to get this graded. You're going to spend $85 to get this graded. It's going to come back to you in about 10 to 15 calendar days. And ultimately, it's going to sell for the same price. So, gap closed for the LeBron rookie. Here is PSA 9 versus SGC 9. I mean, if you're a collector with a lot of money, this is kind of the card that you want to have in your collection. 10,000 to 18,000. So it's about an $8,000 difference, about 80% difference. Man, good luck getting the SGC 9 on this. I wonder what the SGC 7 versus the PSA 7 is actually looking like. Oh, PSA 7, which would probably be more likely to, you'd be more likely to have a card like that in your collection, no? SGC 7 versus a PSA 7. Look at the difference there. Virtually no difference. Once again, as a collector, you're more likely to have or spend that kind of money. I'm more likely to save up a couple grand and go after a card like this than I am, a $20,000 card. But again, no difference, roughly no difference, and you're going to spend so much more in grading fees. You're going to spend over $1,000. Is your card worth more than $5,000? In this case, yes. You're going to spend $300. You're going to actually spend closer to $600 to get that card graded, versus at SGC, $250, but you're going to get it back in a couple of days. I mean, Gap closed. Better turnaround. If you're looking to flip that money quick, SGC is the place to go. I threw in a little football. I'm not a big football guy, not a huge football guy. My Texans are a dumpster fire. I don't really watch them. I might watch them a little bit this season. We'll see what Mills is doing. Oh, long neck. But again, we're talking about $200 versus $260 difference. $150 versus $260. So about $100 difference on the Joe Burrow. So again, Gap not too close. I mean, it was $400 versus, that's still about half price. You can get a Joe Burrow SGC 10 for about half the price of a PSA 10. And just look at the volume. I mean, the volume just kind of tells the story itself. It's like tick, 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 all over the place. So we'll hop off of this for a sec. I know you guys have seen that meme with the African kid where he's like that. That's what I'm doing here. It's like, what are we doing? And listen, good luck getting the PSA 10s these days. I mean, they're tough. Super tough. I mean, they're doing 1 million cards a month. I beat that dead horse enough. I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Comment down below what you think about this difference. And hit the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. I'm horrible about asking about that. But there is a large percentage of you that watch my videos that are not subscribed. I would really love it if you would subscribe. Talk to you next time. Love y'all. Peace.